Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while, I apologise.
Bang bang, won't stop till we're legends.
It's been a long time since I've seen you guys, but last time we had a video, if you remember, this happened. You know, we were just drifting, having a nice time, and then all of a sudden we spun, hit the wall, and we did all this damage. So we, got a bit of aesthetic damage on the rear bumper here. You know, we pulled the rear arch off before we tried to drive home, which we then ended up being towed home. We got towed home because the diff snapped, and then because the diff snapped, the drive shaft came out, so we lost all drive. So Soph was our absolute hero and pulled us back in the Scirocco. Sophie being an absolute hero. So I haven't really had a lot of time to try and fix this car. So the MX5 has been stuck on the drive for a long time, but we finally got some time, and we're just going to make a start. We're going to get down and we're just going to do what we can, as far as we can this weekend, because I have to do a couple of days at a time. And yeah, so we'll see how far we go. Let's get back into it, see you down there. Right, so I've done the bit that scares me, and that's putting it up on the axle stands all over it, but I still don't think I've put it high enough up. I've WD-40'd the bolts that I think I need to take off. Just waiting for that to soak in really, and to give it a go. It's going to be a bit of a hassle, but what can you do? Not a lot really, is there? Holy shit, I think I might just burn the car, call it quits. Look at that absolute monster. Holy shit. That is a big boy. Oh, disgusting.
A few moments later.
So I've taken one of the bolts out, the other one's just there in case it all drops down. I've unplugged this to the gearbox. I don't know what it's really for, but I've made a note about it because I'm a forgetful Fred over here. You know, don't want to turn the car on and have a load of engine lights because nothing's plugged back in. I've also removed all them clips so that wire's not going to pull. Just got one little like earth looking wire to take off it. So the earth looking wire is just snapped off. But yeah, so then I can be able to drop all this down, because those bolts at the back of, you know, non-existent, they're going to get cut off. So the only way I can cut them off really is to take the whole prop guard off. So far so good, but you know, it's not going to, it's just, right, the thinking is I'm not going to get that the diff off with the drive shaft still in there. So I've taken the wheel off. I'm going to attempt to remove this, probably for the first time. Oh, it's on, stuck in the car. Take this off for the first time it's probably ever come off. 32. I've just put all my weight on it and it just lifted me off the ground, so we'll whack on a bit of leverage. Well, we got that nut off with a great deal of difficulty when it came off, so we're going to open the new diff and drive shaft to see how they go in, to get an idea of how well that one's going to come out really. Right then, so update. So we've taken all the bolts off the drive shaft, so the shaft will come off and the diff's free there. The prop guard is off the other side. I've just got one bolt just so it doesn't drop off, just in a little bit, because we're going to have to cut these ones off. We've got that kind of the main bolt from the diff out this side, which this is the side that's holding it in still. However, the two bolts to the top right of it have both rounded now, so I'm gonna try and get one of them sockets that grabs on as you loosen it, kind of thing. See if we can get that off. But the other side still needs doing. But the verdict I've come to, the solution, is I'm gonna have to. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's close. So the conclusion I've drawn is it's going to have to go to a garage, because I'm not going to be able to get the diff mounts in the new diff because I haven't got a press. The old ones are going to be a nightmare to get out of the diff casing that's going to go on. So I'm going to try tomorrow to finish off getting the diff out and the prop guard. So the idea is as long as everything's out, half the job's done and I can get it to a garage. But yeah, it was going really well. We had Mr. Fox here helping, so he was giving us a hand, and we've got quite far in it. But like I say, just, you know, rounded bolts. There's always one in there, always a rounded bolt that stopped it. So we'll get them bolts off. I'll try to do that tomorrow after getting the socket. So everybody's got stuck on that for today. What I'm going to do is I've got a drill and some wire brush. So we're going to give this brushed down, so it looks much better than it does now for when it goes on, whenever it's going to go on. But just thought might as well do that rather than wasting time. And then afterwards, well, I might do the drift stitching on the little crack, maybe paint it again. We'll see. Paint doesn't really matter, but we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, so I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. I mean, it doesn't really matter so much. Like I say, it'll do. It doesn't need doing, it just looks a bit better that way, doesn't it now? Right then, might as well do this drip, you know, the bit of drift stitching while the drill's out on tie. I've got 2.5mm cable tie, so I'll go for the 2.5 or 3mm drill bit to make the holes. Probably go for the 3, so they've got a bit of space. No, 2.5. No, I'll go for 2.5 and force it through. Of course, drill it bigger, can't we? I think we'll go for the crosses and then just the top one as a string. So I think what I'll do is I'll pull the top one tight first and then slowly make my way down.
Day 2.
Righto, just pop down to the local screw fix, get some socket sets, which are like special ones, help remove rounded bolts. So we'll go back now and crack on with the MX5, try and get the actual diff off, and we'll go from there really. So I've been thinking, well, because I can't get the mounts on, I'm not going to be able to get the mounts on myself in the car, obviously, because I need to press. So my thinking is, do I just put the open diff on for now, so it'll move under its own power, and then because then it can be driven to the garage rather than the hassle of like trying to tow it or whatever. So I don't really know. We'll obviously have a think about it, but we just need to get the diff off first, don't we? So we'll get back and get that off first. So the good news is we got both those bolts off, so that's come off. The bad news is the actual kind of bolt bit it was stuck on has snapped off. However, that looks like the bottom half of the mount of the diff. Hopefully the new kind of bushes that we've got don't require that part and it won't need to go back on. Okay, the diff might be free now. Oh yeah, the diff is free. So now it's just stuck on the axle there that needs to come out and the exhaust, so maybe I can manoeuvre it around that. Okay, so the axle is basically just ledged on the exhaust there, so in order to get that off, what I'm going to do is just undo this bolt here, the top control arm, and then it'll tilt the hub forward, and then I'll hopefully be able to slide the shaft out without undoing anything else. So that's a nifty trick I found on YouTube, and then hopefully it'll all drop out. I'm a bit worried about the prop guard all the way along there though, because it seems pretty stuck on the gearbox. So we'll just hopefully it'll all just drop out after we get this left side drive shaft out. So like I say, we pulled the hub forward, and that allowed us to pull the axle out. But I thought I'd be able to pull it out of the diff. However, there's like a locking spline on the end of that one, like a little retaining clip, and I can't get hold of it to pull it out. And because the exhaust's in the way of it, what I've done is I've undone the exhaust here. So I'm going to undone that side and just there. So I'm going to drop the midsection of the exhaust out, and hopefully that creates space for the diff to come down. There we go, so the exhaust is off and now we've got all this space for the diff to drop out. Hopefully this brace isn't in the way, because I can't really be bothered to take the rest of the bolts off, but I probably will have to. So yeah, we'll see if the diff will drop down now, shall we? Hopefully it will. Oh, what's it stuck on this time? Okay, so it is still getting kind of stuck on there. But I reckon if we take, there we go, there, them bolts center screen, then that's the only thing holding that brace in now, and then that'll all fall down and we'll be able to manoeuvre that under that side of the brace and slide it all out.
1 eternity later.
One drivetrain out of an MX5. Happy days. Whew. I suppose now the hard stuff can start. Nice. That took a long time to do, but now just need to get that side out. But that can be another day's job. Well, that'll be enough for this weekend. Everything in the boots, prop shaft and exhaust, exactly the way you'd expect to find those kind of things in a car. I've, cause it's going to be left for a while, I've bagged the the end of the gearbox where the prop shaft goes in. The exhaust I've done as well, not that it's necessary, but just to stop any, especially the gearbox, I don't want any bits getting in there or that getting all manky and horrible. The exhaust, I don't know, just in case, I don't know, mouse or small wildlife, it's not going to hurt being there. But yeah, now there's a very empty. Ready for next time I've got some time, we'll finish it off. So that's it for this weekend. We made pretty good progress. We got all the drivetrain out in a couple of days, so I'm pretty chuffed for that, being as I've never taken a drivetrain out before. Yes, people could have done it faster, but that's how you learn, isn't it? So yeah, so we'll drop the new diff off with Jake. He's going to take the new diff out, the new casing, and he's going to put the new diff mounts in with the press at work. So thank you very much for that, Jake. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. There perhaps wasn't too much going on, but it's all part of the journey, isn't it? If you did, like, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, it always helps. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.
Yo, like and subscribe. This is Callum Gilman with the MX5.
Bang, bang, won't stop.